But how about you acknowledge that your biggest regret was being the fact that you would simulate sexual acts toward a picture of Willow Smith when she was 11 years old? Why is Shane Dawson still allowed to be on our screens in 2025? Hi guys, I'm Tati. Welcome to Tati's Media, where I get to inform you and offer my perspective about different things, but it's basically things that you see in the media. And in today's video, we're going to be speaking about the little interaction on the internet that Trisha Paytas and Shane Dawson had. I want to preface this video by saying I always try to remain respectful when I'm talking about really anyone on this channel, because although I can be speaking about people who do terrible things, I try to remain, constructive, Some things just aren't right, and I will get very passionate about. I don't mean any harm with this, but specifically when you've done as many things as Shane Dawson has, you'd probably understand why. I don't support Shane Dawson. I don't like him, and I think that he should honestly be in jail. So that's my preface. Today we're diving in a small controversy between Shane Dawson and Trisha Paytas. Now, if you don't know who Shane Dawson is or what he's done, your question should be, what hasn't he done? I swear Shane has done pretty much everything you could think of. Back in 2020, Shane Dawson was officially canceled for his racist content, sexualizing minors, and his manipulation with other influencers and their drama. So yeah, also something with sexualizing his cat as well. Just wanted to add that in there. He's done basically everything you could think of. All this led to his public downfall. YouTube demonetized him, Target took his books off their shelves, and a lot of brand and partnerships basically stopped working with him. Yet somehow Shane has clawed his way back into the spotlight, unfortunately. For the past couple of years, he's kind of been, alluding, he's been posting a couple Snapchat stories. But recently he's made a full public appearance on someone's podcast.
I was trying to explain to her what I do and whatever, and then I got canceled, and having her was such a godsend, such a universe orchestrated, because if I didn't have that, because it was already almost game over, but knowing, but anyways, throughout that, it kind of was okay, this was supposed to happen. Obviously, I still take accountability for all the shitty jokes I made and all the terrible videos and all of that. I've never been someone that's you guys are overreacting. I think some people who wanted me dead were overreacting.
There was some overreaction.
Definitely was some of that. I think it was also just the time period. It was such an intense COVID. But I think everything happens for a reason. So for me, it was okay, this was a life-altering event. What am I learning from this? It made me focus on, I didn't look at my phone for months, almost a year. I had to not look at any social media app, because anytime I opened one, it was me and somebody being mean, or it was panic attacks every day. I mean, imagine this is the craziest feeling. So, okay, when I did start finally watching YouTube again, because I couldn't,
everybody, that's what bothers me. Just short side note, I get it because I felt the smallest amount of cancellation with the Jake Paul series.
Right.
And I think the thing that bothers me the most about any of this isn't the fact that people don't like it or they don't agree with things. That's fine. And I'd own up, okay, maybe I should have said it this way, or maybe I shouldn't have read from the DSM, or whatever people's complaints were. But it's the people who hop onto this to make money off of the fact that all they do is shit talk someone. And I'm that's the part that bothers me. If there's a learning, I'm I own up, okay, if I did something wrong, it's fine, I apologize. But when people want to pretend to know me when they don't, or know you, or that's what bothers me.
Yes.
But that's what the whole social media, it spins out of control, and then you can't open your phone, and I hate that.
And I think everything, you learn from everything, and everything does affect you in a way. And I think people who maybe make a living doing that, or were talking badly about me or whatever, even if they think I deserved it, I always know that person will learn something from that at some point. Everything really is. Even for me, I regret so many of my old videos, but I regret more making fun of celebrities.
Oh.
That is really high up there for me. I remember when I first started YouTube, I was doing a lot, because I love Mad TV. That was
I love Mad TV also.
Oh my God. I literally during COVID, I got a cameo from the, this is so, okay, this is how dark it got. So I'm, debating whether I want to, anyways. It got dark.
It was dark.
And then I pulled it, and I heard about Cameo. People were talking about Cameo all the time. I got a cameo from, and as I didn't say who I was, I wasn't I'm a YouTuber. I literally got cameos under my middle name kind of thing, just telling me it's going to be okay. This is so sad. This is so dark. Why am I saying this?
But you were
This is
reaching
dark.
out. You were being resourceful.
Why are people still interviewing Shane Dawson in 2025? I have no idea. No hate to Katie, but I am just confused. Anyway, he spoke about basically regret, moving forward with his life, and the controversies he was in. But we got to one specific part where he spoke about a very specific situation, and I honestly, you just have to watch the clip to understand, because I can't even express to you what he's even really talking about. It's very vague.
With this person, I was like, hey, you kind of did this thing and it hurt our feelings, whatever. And then they went off on me.
Oh, and that tells you everything. You're like,
and I
okay.
was like, oh, okay, this is not the greatest energy. You have some stuff to work on. I think we shouldn't do this anymore together. And when that happens, it's like, or if you get a text from somebody and you get a pit in your stomach.
Oh, that's an indicator. Your body's telling you, like, this isn't good.
You should probably get out of this.
Yeah.
We had this one person who, I was trying to be so nice about it. And I was like, I want to be really nice about it and just tell them, hey, this isn't working out. And so, I sent it and I was like, worst case scenario, they say, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah, fuck
right?
you, blah, blah, blah.
And then we get the text and it's the worst case scenario. And I was like, all right, good to know. But also the fact that I knew exactly what the worst case scenario would be,
means that you already kind of
means you already
knew.
knew.
Apparently, Trisha came forward and confirmed that he is indeed speaking about her. Her co-star wasn't very sure if he was, but Trisha seemed to be very confident that he was, in fact, alluding to her. Not only that, but Trisha pointed out the mistakes Shane is still making, not taking full accountability, and how he portrays himself to be very innocent-like.
Shane was shading you, but
I did see this one.
yeah. What do you think about it? Because my interpretation was it didn't seem like it applied to you. Because
Well, it definitely applied to me, but I also it definitely was about me.
you think? Oh, okay.
The one clip I saw
Okay.
was very that, and I love that the preface of very much like not an influencer. It's like, Shane, you have no friends that aren't influencers. Like, every friend you have, you turn into an influencer. Whether that was, remember Cat Sketch, like Shauna, like anyone who was just a friend, you turn into an influencer. Like, he even talks about in Jenny Craig days, his friends making videos. So like him prefacing me like, it's not influencer. Okay, it's not influencer. He loves to what is it, like spill a little tea, but like not take any accountability for it. Just like, I'm gonna spill some tea, but like if no one you know. But it's like every story
And
he told.
he did preface this isn't tea.
Because there was a clip too that could have been about Andrew or Garrett. There's definitely also, it could pertain to a lot of people, because Shane is I don't know him now, obviously. He could be totally different. I do believe people change. I do believe parenthood changes people. Didn't change his accountability though. Still takes zero accountability. But I do think like there was clips of him talking like that could have been about Andrew or Garrett or anyone. He's like friends using him. Because I feel like friends that use him, he used to pay like people's phone bills. I remember he'd pay like people's like a lot of these influencer friends, like he would like pay their phone bills for like years after he even stopped talking to him. He's like, I feel bad, and like whatever. The clip I saw about me, I actually didn't think it was like even crazy. I wasn't like fuming. I was like, oh my god, whatever. But yeah, it definitely was like, I told this friend, and it was like, I had to tell this person. Like he was like, I had to tell this person, because it could only get worse, like a couple years. And I was like, okay, what's the worst case scenario? And I was like, oh, the worst case scenario happened. I had to tell them like, hey, also the way he talks as when he's the one texting, he'd be like, hey, yeah, what you said wasn't what, it wasn't really cool. If it made me feel a little uncomfortable. Like the way he says things is like, makes him seem like this cute little like poor thing. But when he texts or whatever, it's like, no, it's always like little nasty intentions behind it. But then he said it affected us, meaning him and Rylan, like, the backlash of like this person, but he's glad he didn't find out because that's the energy he didn't want, and this person needed help. So again, could it apply to a lot of people? Yes. Is it about me? Yes. You know what I mean? Like, I just think my biggest issue with anyone talking about a situation like that, especially if he said the person needed help or whatever at the time, like needed serious help, is like, you can't take, if someone takes zero accountability, right? Whenever friendships or relationships end, business relationships, whatever, like you have to admit that you had some wrongdoing in it. You know what I mean? So for him to like, that specific clip I only saw the one clip because people were tagging me in it, for him to be like, yeah, this friend just had this crazy reaction, and like, thank God, because I had to cut that off, and now that was bad energy, and we didn't need it or whatever like that. And he said that with all the other people using him and stuff like that. Like, he's never done anything wrong in the situation, which is like crazy because Shane was known to be like the meanest person back in the day. Like, he was just mean.
And yeah, that is what Trisha had to say about Shane. I think we've heard enough from Shane, and it's time to go into Mind Over Media. Welcome to Mind Over Media. This is the part of the video where you get to hear my perspectives and what I think about the controversy. Here's the thing. I don't care about this back and forth between Trisha and Shane at all. I really don't. What matters is what Trisha has said. Shane has been canceled for years for extremely bad reasons, okay? This is not just casual internet drama that he was canceled over. These could be considered literal crimes. Here's the thing, Shane. You go on a podcast where the interviewer essentially coddles you, because that's her job, and it gives you the opportunity to play this fragile, innocent person who made a few little mistakes and has grown out of it and has, experienced so much and have tried to atone for your sins. You try to explain to us how you've discovered discovered an empathetic way to live. But the truth is, you've learned absolutely nothing. You said your biggest regret was how you would make fun of celebrities. People were defending him by saying he's not going to list every regret he had, you know, that was probably just one that he wanted to say. Like, he probably has more, of course. May that be true, but that's the problem in the first place. If you are being accused of disgusting things and you're genuinely remorseful, you would get on the podcast and not state that your biggest regret was simply making fun of celebrities. You're talking about empathy, apologies, and growth, but how about you acknowledge that your biggest regret was being the fact that you would simulate sexual acts toward a picture of Willow Smith when she was 11 years old? Let's just start there. Or how about you regret all the things you've done to your victims and all the jokes you've made, and how about you apologize to all the kids who watched your stuff, who were literally influenced by what you were doing? If you're gonna try to paint yourself as someone who's learned and grown and discovered empathy and have, you know, biggest regrets, like, how about we start with, you know, things that you should actually be thinking of? The victims, the people you've influenced, the jokes you've made. Like, your biggest regret is making fun of celebrities? Are you serious? It's disgusting. Anyways, it's time to hear what you guys think. Do you think Shane's comeback is him trying to play the victim, or is he really remorseful? Do you think that he should be allowed to be back in the public eye after all that's happened? How do you think Shane should have went about being on that podcast? Let me get you guys' thoughts. I'm really interested in hearing what you guys think. And yeah, thank you for conversing with me this week. And okay, love you. Bye.